let's just come back to our Tata Capital. Now, Sajid is joining us to give us more. Sajid, clearly, this was a precursor. We were awaiting the IPO details as well. Rights issue meeting was planned today, right? What are the updates that you're picking up? And does this tell us as to how much timelines that we have to wait for in terms of the listing?
So, as we currently speak, there is a current amalgamation which is happening between Tata Capital and Tata Motor Finance, which is there. That amalgamation is towards the end, so it's expected to be completed by the coming fiscal, and as part of that, what Tata Capital is now doing is raising 1,504 crores through rights issue, which is to existing shareholders, and that includes some of the private equity and funds which are already invested in Tata Capital, and I'm not sure how much of contribution will come from the Tata Motors, because Tata Motors also will hold a stake in Tata Capital after amalgamation of Tata Motors Finance, which is there. But what is important is that there's a September 2025 deadline for the IPO of Tata Capital, and as part of that, they've already announced a process wherein they're going to issue nearly 23 crore shares in fresh equity, and there will be an offer for share sale as well, which will be for existing and eligible shareholders of Tata Capital. So it seems that it's we haven't seen looked at the valuation and at what price the rights issue is happening at this point in time, but it seems like it's going to be more than $1 billion IPO which will come in from Tata Capital.
And any timelines that the analysts are tracking so far in terms of when this can be expected?
So they have a outer limit of 3rd September 25, which is there for Tata Capital. Also, it is important to note that because the Tata Capital IPO is now happening, what is the kind of response that they would have got for Tata Sons as well? Correct. Because they were trying to avoid a Tata Sons listing, which is there, and as part of the entire thing, they were concentrating the entire financial vertical into Tata Capital, and Tata Capital being the upper layer NBFC, they will have to come out with an IPO for that. So, if you look at the timelines, the audited numbers for FY25 will happen by April. So now now that they have announced how many shares are going to be there, I think the bankers are already in for that, and we expect the filing to happen in first quarter of FY26.
Correct.
And then
Sajid, so will the amalgamation with Tata Motors commercial vehicles or commercial financing, will it take place before the IPO?
It's under process. So it's an NCLT process which is undergoing. So I think they're expecting the entire thing to happen by the end of the fiscal, which will happen with the completion, which will happen.
But any stock reaction that we could see in terms of Tata Group companies right now, because
Tata Motors is something we need to see what Tata Motors stake is. I'm not getting. I don't remember offhand what is the stake which will be as part of the entire amalgamation. But my understanding is that OFS will include Tata Motors shares as well. So Tata Motors will raise money from this Tata Capital and then use to reduce debt.
So this is going to be an
Tata Motors has
aspect.
already mentioned that they're going to go towards
net
debt zero.
So this is going to be an interesting aspect we should be watching out for from a Tata Motors perspective. Very quickly, Sunny, a quick word in terms of Tata Motors basis, the Tata Capital rights issue IPO that Sajid has been telling us about.
Yeah, I think, sorry, I don't have the ready number, how much stake Tata Motors is holding in a Tata Chemical post this transaction, which is panning out between the financing arm of Tata Motors and this Tata Capital. So we need to check the shareholding of Tata Motors in Tata Capital. But having said that, I was just going through the presentation of Tata Capital, which is available on their website. Seems to be a very large NBFC, I think close to 1,80,000 crore kind of loan book size, annual profit of close to 4,000 crore number. So I think in case Tata Motors is holding a significant stake in Tata Capital, that will definitely lead to a value unlock.